Hey, welcome to Nia's Divine Garden. This is Daniyah. Ooh, yes, I just woke up. Morning voice. You're welcome. I wanted to talk about last night, and I'm not even gonna try not to get emotional because I'm just gonna be in the truth of it. So last night I had the pleasure of um, being a guest performer for Apple's Life Sparkles event in downtown Augusta of Taste of the Arts. I want to give gratitude for Apple because it was interesting. When she put out that she had an idea, she wanted to know what artist. And so I sent like a little eye emoji. And she said, "Oh, you're already on the list." And I was like, "Okay, I'll check." And it was an investment. Like I had to invest in order to be a part of the show, but it was absolutely worth the investment. I had so much fun. First and foremost, I had fun. Like there was music, and if you know me personally, you know I love music, and I don't do clubs or anything often. And so when I get to go someplace and actually listen to some music and just like bop to the music, that's a vibe for me. Um, but I met some really amazing people. Shouts out to Sweet Sensations by Connie. So the vision of the event was an artist was paired with a chef, and the chef basically their creation would pair with the art being performed. So was on dessert, and so the lovely Connie made cupcakes, and it was just first off, it was a cool concept. I was like, "Yo, this is so dope." I've always wanted to do my poetry to music. I have never thought about doing my poetry with food, and so to see someone create this art in food that was reflective of the art that I was speaking, and it was such a pretty cupcake. Um, I'm gonna see if I can grab a picture because I'll do a slideshow at the end. I'll share my screen and let you see. Um, but it was such a really cool event. And so just before I'm listening to like shouts out to all the singers, ladies, goddesses, y'all have pipes, like real talk. All of you sound absolutely amazing. Shouts out to Passionate because Passionate's spoken word was so good. I stood up and like I moved from where I was standing and had to get closer. The Saxy was just like how you spit bars on a saxophone. I loved every minute of it. It was just a really, really amazing show. And Apple should be absolutely really, really proud of what she created. And I'm even more excited for my event in November. And I'm just even more excited. So and I'm on a stage. And the last time I was on like every time I get on an actual stage and do my poetry, it is absolutely like you're doing what you're supposed to. I was sitting there and and what's wild is I'm always doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's the thing. I always get the message that every single thing I'm doing is always in alignment because even before I got started doing anything else, I gave one of the chefs Reiki. And in the midst of the Reiki, I had to stop. And it's like, yo, I know you didn't ask for a reading, but I really feel like I need to tell you this. And she was so open to receiving. I could see it in her eyes, like I needed this. Like I knew this. This wasn't new information. It was clarity on the information she was already sensing in herself. And so everything is in alignment. But there is something about the poetry. And to like throw astrology in here, when you look at the muses, the asteroids that show your hidden talents, I have a major connection to every poetry asteroid, every last one of them. Every particular asteroid and anything that points to poetry, they're in everyone's chart, but they have to be activated to be fully present, and mine are all fully activated. Every possible type of poetry I could do is fully activated. And I'm just like, okay, all righty then. Like, this is the thing, this is the one that's opening the door. Everything else is still in alignment, but this right here, there is something special about this. And to have all those people say, I really enjoyed what you did, to have someone text me like, yo, I listened to your work and my spouse was about to get that work. And I was like, that's kind of was my intention with that particular text. So, Ashe, if you didn't feel that way, I don't know what to tell you, but Ashe received it. And to have another poet say to me, like, yo, I really enjoyed what you did and that wordplay in that one line. And I felt her. When it happened, it was like, I felt her react. I didn't hear her, I felt her react. And, you know, that imposter syndrome will try to get you, will try to stop you on your path because you do it differently than everyone else. I have not, the way I can memorize a song, I have not yet been able to memorize all of my poems in that way. So I always end up reading them because almost everyone, including the one you're going to hear at the end of this, that's reflective of how I feel about yesterday evening, are channeled. And like even towards the end of it, you'll see where the person, you'll see it change towards the end. Like I'm literally channeling, like I'm like receiving divination towards the end of the poem I'm going to read. And I spent so many decades, not years, decades, not being seen, not truly being seen. When you wake up in the morning and you know you're fully awake, but you can actually see the cosmos around you. When you can actually hear the whisper of the divine telling you you're doing what we want you to do, don't give up. You have to keep going. And even when you don't feel like you have the support of the people that mean the most to you, but you keep doing it anyway. But you keep going anyway. And then to have your spiritual family come to you like, yo, I have vision of you and I need you to know that everything you're doing is in alignment with your destiny. Every single thing, you do not stop. Every time I do reading and someone says, it's basically like, what the H? Every time I do a poem and the verse is like, yo, I felt that in my being. I don't know. The poem I'm getting ready to do will put it into words because I don't know any other way to say it. So let me grab this slideshow and then I'll let you hear what it was like. All right. So here is my, some snippets of last night and how I feel about it. Destiny. What does destiny look like What does it feel like to walk the path, to walk in alignment with all that you are and all that you hope to be, to move with the flow and grace the divine has designed? I'm in an effort to make it effortless, to make it easy, to help you float on the breeze of the winds of change versus swept like a tornado to carry you away. What does it feel like to see the doors of opportunity swing open, to see the abundance in your hand, to see the obstacles once had with a swing, they're now gone? The road is open, the way is clear. You are now co creating the life you desire. You are now co creating your journey in flow, in time, with ease. Destiny is showing all the abundance that lies before you, all the prosperity in your poetry. The visions are true. You are aligned to your destiny. Live it, walk it, breathe it. Know it is yours. Know that there is no one in your way, not even you. Know that you are living proof that you may try and you might fail, but when you get up, you always prevail. Irete meji, preserve and be revealed. Let them see who you are, the bright shining star. Let them see who you'll be, the goddess, the witch of divine poetry. Let them see what awaits. Victory is yours. This is your fate, destiny. I am, needless to say, emotional, um, in a good way. Which is funny because when I pulled a card before I got started, and it was the Queen of Cups with the Nine of Cups on the back. And then when I got done, I got Destiny and Future. So, Ashe, I received that. And to write a poem and then have an actual old dude show up in the verse was really like, okay, alrighty then. If I didn't know I was channeling, I knew I was channeling then. And I just I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Like absolute gratitude to the divine for having my back, you know? Um, Yesterday was one of those days where it was just like, I just bopping around, honestly. I went to do something at the Saturday market, ended up meeting like several creatives and this beautiful queen mother, actually two. And it was just like, everything felt faded, honestly, yesterday. And yesterday was just one of those days where it was just like, if you're unsure if you're in alignment, I was not unsure, yes. And that will probably, this is me being honest, so that, and I want to be honest because I want people who feel like they're in the same situation to understand this is not a reflection of your alignment. I don't have that many friends or family. I don't have the hugest friend group anyway, but um, I wouldn't say I'm what you would call popular. I don't have the hugest friends or family base that is like clamoring to come to see me do poetry or anything like that. I know that if able, my mom, dad would. Um, so this is not, they're not inclusive in this. Like I know they would if they could. Um, I got one of my sisters in Washington State. So this is not about them per se, but I don't have the most like, friends that are just like, I'm coming to see you perform. The one person who probably would doesn't live in the state. And chances are the first time they'll see me will be at my own show. I have a strong feeling they're going to make a trip just to come and be there for that. But like other than that, like people here in town who say, I love your poetry, but you don't come. And that's not a knock, it's just a fact. You don't come. You don't come. Um, I have, you know, 4 poetry books out now. A fifth one is on the way. Surprise! I have a new book that I'm just wrapping up, and it will be out. So by the time the show on the 5th of November, y'all should have copies. There'll be copies of all the books there for you to purchase. But it's just I need the folks that feel like, but my friends, but my family, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. Understand the divine plan for you. If you are 110% sure you are operating as your higher self and not an ego, and what you're doing is your destiny, is your fate, you must persevere. You must keep going. You absolutely must, because the other side of this, that line in the poem that says when it's the swing, I I'm gonna go this way, but this is what it's gonna go. Ogun is the one that removes the obstacle. Issue opens the door, Ogun removes the obstacles. But when it comes through to me, I am the one holding the machete. I am the one removing the obstacles. Ogun is just helping me for my swing, helping me add that extra little behind it, removing the own obstacles on my way. You understand this here, what I'm doing now, how huge of a challenge it is. The fact that I got up this morning, I had like this is like I rolled over and grabbed my laptop to do this. How huge that is for me. Public speaking, speaking in front of people, I have always been conscious of my lisp, my gap, like all of these things were always conscious to me, even in school. And people are like, well, you would always answer the question first, because I always hated it when it was too quiet and I knew the answer. Like I was like Hermione, I felt that. Like I know the answer, just let me answer it so we don't have to sit here in silence all day. And it would annoy me. Like it would like in my skin annoy me. So it was a physical sensation as a kid to not answer the question. So that was the true me manifest. True me was like, let's go ahead and answer this joy. Ego was like, "Ugh, but what if they know that I know?" That was the thing. Hiding, hiding, shrinking so that I could be palatable, shrinking so that I could be consumable for others. And it's been as late as like those who are supposed to drink from my well will do so and be nourished and will be fulfilled. And it won't be too strong. It won't be too weak. It'll be just right. And I can't take it as they don't care. This may not be for them. This may be for somebody else. So I have to keep going so that the somebody else can find me. I have to keep I have to keep going so that the somebody else that is meant to see me and enjoy what I'm doing and be fulfilled by what I'm creating, be nourished by my wisdom, be inspired by my teaching. I have to keep going so the universe can keep pulling them closer to me. And that's what you have to keep doing. You have to persevere. You have to keep going. Because if you stop, it won't find you. If you stop vibrating at the energy you need to be vibrating at in order to attract that like energy. I don't care. The human side of me does care. She cares. She cares, and there are days she worries. She's like, "Am I doing this right? Am I on the right path? Why is this?" She cares, but she also knows that the goddess is wise. I'm humble, you know? So when people say certain things about, you're powerful and things like that, I receive it with humility. I receive it. So do not be confused. My humility is not a lack of acknowledgement. I know. My favorite self-mouth is slick first thing in the morning. I know who the F I am. I know I am powerful beyond measure, and I haven't even fully tapped in yet. There's still more growing to go. I know how potent my poetry is. I know how divine my divination is. I know. I know that if I have a student that takes a class and actually walks the path and takes it and really does the work, I know because I've already proven it at the day job. All of them that walk the path that I helped them lay, all promoted, leveled up, moved on, doing amazing things. Where the foundation that I helped them build, they stood on top of it and are still standing. Even if they realize they needed to stand someplace else, I received that too. It's funny, I've had more than one person I coached quit their job. My bad. Destiny, you know? But when I create, I know I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Whether I'm creating a class, a ritual, an oil, a bath, a dressed candle, a story, a blog, a podcast, this, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But it doesn't make it not a challenge. It's not an obstacle. I don't have obstacles anymore. I have challenges to, and the challenge is obstacles like this is in my way. No, the challenge is beside. We're racing. We're in a race and I'm going to win. That's what the challenge is. The obstacle is in front of me. So then I have to knock it down. There are no obstacles in front of me. I only have challenges. And the challenge and I are at the starting line trying to say who's going to get there first. And it's going to be me. It's going to be me. And that's how you have to see it. You have no obstacles. You only have challenges. There is nothing in front of you. There is nothing blocking your path. It is only in your mind that something is there. Kick it out the way. Put it to where it's supposed to be. Beside you, it's supposed to help you grow. So you have to outrun the challenge. To outrun it. So yeah, I didn't mean for this to end up turning into a sermon, but hey, you know what? It's first thing in the morning, and Spirit is just like, this is what we're gonna do today. But again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am always grateful for the shares. I'm grateful for when someone reaches out to me like, and never like when someone mentioned like your poetry is like woo, and I'm just like, yeah, it's supposed to be. That one was anyway. Last night was supposed to be like that. But on the November 5th, you're gonna get it all. You're gonna get the sensual, you're going to get the love. Um, I don't think I'm gonna make anybody purposely cry that night. So I'm not going to do the loss. I'm not going to do those, but I will do the love. The book Love, Lust, and Lost will be there. But I'm going to do the sensual, the love, the light. You'll get some shadow because I decided yesterday that there's some things I haven't written that need to be written. So you'll get some shadow. you'll get the spiritual. All of my poems, if you ever pay a really close attention, have a spiritual undertone. So you'll always get the spiritual, but it'll be a really there's at least 2 VIP tickets available, and those 2 are for an actual live divination that's a poem. I will do a channeled poem live for them. Um, and I'm not writing it down, so if y'all wanna keep it, y'all better record it. Record it for me too, because I ain't gonna remember what I said. I ain't gonna remember. I'm just gonna be in the flow, and I'm just gonna do it. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be really cool, and just like people have given me the opportunity to be on their stage, I wanted to do the same thing, so there are, spots available for other artists and creatives to, like, hop on and, uh, you know, you can come as a guest plus a performer. If you wanna bring stuff to sell, there's a few spots for being a guest plus a vendor. Um, it's just I am so geeked about this event, you have no idea. Like like, I had I am excited to share, honestly. And then there's for those who were there last night, the one that I wrote from the perspective of a man, I will not be performing that one, a man will. Oh, that's gonna be so hot. I just don't even know what that's gonna be my favorite set at night. Like, I just need you to know everything's gonna be amazing on the 5th. But the fact that I get to actually perform that in the way that I envisioned it, and I've already heard them just read it, like, not performing it. I've already heard them read it, and I was just like, "Read it again. Read it again. I wanna hear it again." Okay, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I'm not sorry. So yeah, I'm really excited. So now I really am gonna go. So November 5th, 2022, I will be doing a showcase of poetry, art, stories. Books will be on sale. Please get your tickets now. Get your tickets. Go ahead and get your tickets right now. Get them right now. It's also for people who pre-sale tickets. This is a help for us when y'all get your tickets early. So get your tickets now. Go ahead and get your tickets now. So that way we can make it. We can plan for even bigger and better things for the show. And vendors, go ahead and secure your spots. Artists, creatives, secure your spots. If you want to be both a vendor and an artist, vendor and a creative performer, secure that spot. Like if you want to be one of the ones I do the channel poem for, there's only 2 spots, so you got to get that now. Like you even remotely feel like you want me to channel one for you. Get that, get that. That's gonna be dope. Like I haven't freestyled at any show. Like every show I've just read what I've written. So that's gonna be something to see, is to watch me free just do it on the fly and see what comes. But thank you for listening. Thank you for the love, the engagement. Also thank you for the support. But I like the love, the enjoyment, the joy, the nourishment, the fulfillment. I'm super grateful for that because it just keeps reminding me that I am that I am. So y'all have a great day. Take care. Bye.